Welcome back, my Banter Bro champions. I'm your entertainer slave for the night, Timothy Bennett, and with me is my Mr. Slave 1, Jason Chandler.
Okay.
And my Mr. Slave 2,
More uncomfortable
Aram.
than one.
And
All right, here we go.
now guess which one has a gerbil. So tonight we are going to be talking about the South Park reference.
Deep
I
and shit
know,
out
Mr.
again.
Slave.
What ho, Lemmy Winks?
Lemmings. So tonight we're gonna be talking about. Oh, we need to switch it. Switch it, Jason. Switch it. Switch it.
I just put my foot up.
Damn it! Just hucking movies at him. Switch it, you son of a bitch!
Tonight we're gonna be talking about Ant-Man,
Doodly doo.
and this is the last film of Phase 2.
That was
which-
3.
Yeah, well, don't worry, because me and Jason keep feeling like it's 3 too. So, for whatever reason, it's just a lot of movies. It's a lot of shit. So, so we're gonna be talking about Ant-Man, and then we have a new, because we're in the month of May, so we have a new theme called
Musical May.
Musical May. Thanks to Jason.
La 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 la.
Did any of you pick La La Land?
I still haven't watched
I
it.
haven't seen it, so I don't think
It's
I will
good.
see it.
Oh, it's really good.
Yeah, it's
So much better than you will think. Let's put it that way. It's not what you would think. Let's put it that way.
Is it a musical?
Yeah.
Yes,
Then it's exactly what I think.
but it is deep, and it's half the film. Like the first quarter of it, yeah, you're basically like, oh, okay, whatever. The rest of it's like, oh my god.
If I want deep subjects saying at me, I will listen to regular music.
They don't always sing it.
Well, you're not.
Watch it. That's all I'm saying. So yeah, we're gonna be talking about musical stuff, musical films that we
Call
like,
me a slave.
and I missed. So
Sorry, we haven't made one since.
Dude,
You've been the only
0
one that
for
made
30.
them.
yeah, Ant-Man.
Ant-Man.
Man.
Did you guys watch this in theaters?
No.
Wow, I
didn't-
expect you to both say no.
This is one of the. For some reason, I never gave a fuck.
Same.
Wow, I feel like I think that's what made this movie so big, was because it was such a surprise to people on how well it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I
I
mean?
can see
Like,
that now,
I feel
having
like,
watched it.
Yeah, I feel like people went into it going, because I feel like that's how I felt too. It was like, why do I care?
Mhm.
And then I went and I saw it, and I'm like, oh my god, that was great. I laughed. It was
It's
fun,
fun. I wouldn't
yeah.
call
It's
it
very well
great.
done.
so. I think it's great.
I think it's
So-
mediocre.
Oh, my turn. So Ant-Man was released in 2015. It clocks in just under 2 hours, which is kind of par for the course for these movies nowadays.
Oh, 2 hours, yeah.
About 2 hours seems to be the right running time.
I feel like it's not quite. To me, it doesn't feel like 2 hours either.
No,
I feel like the Marvel films do a really good job at not making things feel so long.
their
Yeah, they're
action
pacing.
pacing runs really well. Released July 17th of 2015. Budget was it was way under what's been the running budget. So it was $130 million.
Oh, that's got to be the lowest.
Yeah, probably. I would say I can't remember what Iron Man was, but Iron Man
I feel like
was,
Iron
I think
Man was way
closer
higher
to
than that.
200.
I don't know about that, but yeah, this has got to be the lowest.
Yeah,
In fairness, if you look at what they did,
Yeah.
well,
true enough.
I don't know. They had a lot of CGI though, and maybe like Jason said, maybe CGI doesn't.
It doesn't
Cost
cost
as
as
much
much
as
as
we
you think.
Probably
Even the
not.
de-age fucking
I mean-
Douglas,
Yeah, that probably cost the most.
right?
I mean,
I can
you know,
see.
you could probably do the rest of that with like a couple people on a computer, would be my guess.
Yeah.
Maybe now. Like, I
Yeah.
don't
don't
know.
know.
Even about 5
thought-
years ago.
2015, I mean, it might not be too big a deal. So yeah, 130 million is the estimated budget.
140 for Iron Man 1. So
Yeah. So
Yeah,
it's-
this
yeah,
one
at this point,
is-
it's the lowest. Opening weekend, it made $57 million.
Damn.
So
57 million.
yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty. That's
Uh,
pretty bad.
grossing like total, it made 180 million. So it made its money back plus a little bit.
Oh, and the budget is probably so low because there are so many television actors in this movie. They're all over the fucking place.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I guess I'll look up the fucking...
Yeah, the cronies.
And the what?
The cronies, like the two, like T.I. and the white guy from whatever other fucking shows I've seen him in.
Oh, he's the Polka Dot Man.
Yeah, Polka Dot Man. You
even got the cop from The Wire. Or no, what the fuck? Never mind.
He's stuck on a wire. He was in I've seen him in a bunch of stuff.
The other guy's like
in the Adam Sandler film.
He was in Observe and Report.
You're talking about the
best friend of Paul
Mexican
Rudd.
guy or whatever?
Yeah. Paul
He's
Rudd's
the best
friend.
part of the movie.
Yeah.
Yep.
Definitely
But anyways, we can talk about that later when we get to the
Louise.
cast, I guess.
I
But-
remember him in next Friday.
So I was
I've
just...
seen that one.
Yeah, Michael Pena. Pena?
Yeah.
Pena?
Okay.
Yep. But David, Kurt, Polka Dot Man was in...
Yeah, and then I think the third one's T.I. Bobby Cannavale is the fiance and the cop.
Yep, lead cop guy.
Yeah, he's in a show called Vinyl. Fucking some of the rich people. I don't know. It's just I don't know. I guess maybe their salaries are lower.
Oh, he was in the other guys.
Yeah. He's in a ton of shit. He's a really good actor. He's in Chef.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is a chef. Yep.
He's been acting for years, and he's a really good actor. But he's never like a main guy. He's always a supporting actor, from what I can see.
He kind of was in the show Vinyl.
Was he? Okay.
Yeah.
I do like him. The first I saw him in a 2003 film with Peter Dinklage called
Station Agent.
Station Agent. Yep.
Yeah. I never finished it, but that was a really good movie from what I remember.
He was also in an Adam Sandler film. Can't think of what it was. Anyway, continuing on.
Judy Greer is the ex-wife.
Yep. Which I completely forgot she was in this.
Me too.
Well, she doesn't really play a gigantic part. So
no, but
Still,
every
I know
time
who she
she's on the
is.
screen, she's fucking amazing.
I actually know who she is versus the actual female lead.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you didn't watch Lost then,
Yeah, no, I didn't watch.
or
Lost a lot.
Hobbit.
Something Lily. That's all I remember.
Yeah,
Evangeline
Lily and Van.
Was she in The Hobbit?
She's yeah.
She played the elf chick. In
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
I didn't fucking recognize that. All right, whatever.
She was in Lost, and that's the only thing I really those two movies. Evangeline Lilly.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, yep, she was in The Hobbit. Yeah. Oh, Real Steel. Lost.
Oh yeah, she is the.
Hurt Locker. White Chicks.
She's in
Smallville.
White Chicks.
She's in Smallville?
What?
What was she in White Chicks?
I don't know.
She might have played one episode.
Well-
Right, she had to been really young then. I don't know.
Oh, you know what? I think I do remember in Smallville. I think she played one of the professors at Luther Corp in the cities.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
It must have been a later season.
Yeah, probably like season 4 or 5.
Oh.
But anyway,
I think that's all I've got.
I'm shocked on the budget. Actually,
Right?
it's got to be the lowest
But-
so far.
Yeah.
I mean, it shows. I mean, there's not lots that they need a big budget for
Really,
necessarily.
really, they concentrate on like the shrinking, and there's not much to that. I mean, you can do a lot of that with green screen, I'm sure.
Yeah, there's a lot of CGI, a lot of
Yeah.
animation, a lot of CGI stuff. But yeah, maybe you're right, Jason. It's not as bad. So let's dive into that. How do you feel about the CGI in this film? How do you feel about the world that they brought you into? Because we're kind of dealing with the quantum realm for a little bit, but like,
It was fine. I mean, yeah.
you know,
I thought it was good. This movie didn't knock me down the way other Avengers or comic book movies did, but this was good. I thought this had a lot of lighter tone to it.
Yeah.
Even until the fight, like even though the end like battle fight scene like had a much lighter tone.
Yeah, the movie's fun.
I enjoyed that last fight scene because so this film is a film about perspective.
Yeah.
And I think that's what sells this film is that perspective. Because you get like for example, in the end of the movie during the fight scene, they're on the train track.
Yeah, they're on the Thomas the Train table.
Yep. You get them like close up, right? The bad guys fighting close up, and it's like bam, bam, big giant objects, big trains and this and that, and then it shoots out to a little girl's perspective, and it's just a little train that just like falls over, and you just see pew 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 pew, like little things. That shit was funny. Yeah, it was great. Like,
they played it. They played it very well. Like this movie's lighter in tone, even when it's serious, is lighter in tone than any of the other films, I feel like.
Oh, absolutely. I agree. 100%.
Yeah.
And this is where they figured out that they could be lighthearted and have the same action and the gravitas to it that the other movies did. Because you start to see it in like further movies too.
Yep. What were you about to say, Jason?
I like the suitcase thing. Also for your perspective point, how they're in there, and then it just cuts to like it's falling.
It's falling into the pool.
And then the lighter tone. The emotional shit does not land in this movie. Like when they talk about his mother and this whole, except for him and his daughter, that's pretty cool. But
I think it's the only emotional thing that you really get.
It's really the only emotional.
And what did they do? They sabotaged it too.
Yeah,
they did it intentionally. Yeah. And
I ruined the moment, didn't I? I'm gonna make tea.
Yes, you did. Go make tea.
I don't know. But
do you think it's because of Paul Rudd though? Do you think that because it's Paul Rudd that this is why it's so lighter? Do you think it's because of the fact that he's?
I think Paul Rudd brings lightness to it, but I don't think it's written dark at all in general.
Yeah.
I think Paul Rudd adds more levity to it, but I don't think it was written to be a dark film.
I can see why they casted him for it. Or wrote it for him, or around him.
So fucking charming.
Because I will retract my earlier statement. Like this is the film where they figured out they could be lighthearted. Because Guardians of the Galaxy,
that's a comedy,
had straight comedy to it,
it's a
and
comedy,
so they figured out they
film.
could be comedic. And this is where they tried to lean into it, and they didn't really leave any emotional beats to it. Like the Guardians of the Galaxy has emotional beats to it still. This has none of that. This has low. I want to say low stakes.
I don't think they tried. I don't think it was that. I don't think it was so intentional. What I mean is, I don't think they were intentionally trying to make you feel so emotional. In
this movie has stakes, but nothing is emotionally impacted.
Yeah.
And so much because everything from him trying to see his daughter to Janet and Hank's relationship to whatever the bad guy's name, Cross.
Yep.
His
David Cross.
No.
Damian
Cross.
That sounds more
Yellow
right.
Jacket.
Yeah, but all their emotional beats are surface level. Like there's no real depth to it,
and that's what I'm getting at.
Yeah,
I think that's
why
what
I say
it is.
they don't land. There's no depth.
That's because I don't think it was supposed to.
They're not
That's
meant
what I'm
to.
saying.
There's only one moment where they try and it fucking fails bad.
Which one is that?
When the lady has a Douglas's daughter has a temper tantrum, goes to the car. Her and Paul Rudd have a little fucking heart to heart. They come back into the house, and then all of a sudden Michael Douglas is talking about his missing wife and why he left and fucking their whole fucking background and history.
But see, that's what we're saying.
She's all teary-eyed. And it's just like, what the fuck?
Even
this
then,
all doesn't.
It's still surface, and that's what I have to agree with him.
Because
we're all just saying the same thing.
There's no ramp up to that.
No,
exactly.
She throws a tantrum and he just gives in.
Everything in this movie just happens.
Yeah.
This movie is perfectly mediocre to me.
Apparently he needs to cry a little bit to make it worth something.
No, this movie won't make me cry.
I think
that's what we're saying. Apparently, you need to cry a little bit to make it worth something.
This had its beats. Like they infiltrate Ant-Man into the universe. Like between his fight with Sam, I almost said Bucky for some reason. His fight with Sam, to him basically telling
Michael Douglas that I fought an Avenger and lived.
Well, even before that, when they're like, "Oh, this is what we want," she's like, "Hey, here's an idea. How about you call the Avengers?"
Yeah,
like. So like their assumption is like he's a reluctant sort of like hero, and they I want to say simply put, like he's basically this is his not origin story. It's his introduction to the universe so that he can be a key player later on. Mm-hmm. It's not as much an origin story so much as like this is just him being introduced so that he can be a linchpin in other things.
And he's really only a linchpin in one thing.
I'd say Civil War and Endgame. He's linchpins in both.
I mean,
he plays deciding factors.
See, the Civil War is the only thing I could say he's a true linchpin in, because that was the only thing that actually made a difference.
Well, the quantum realm stuff, the time travel stuff in Endgame, like that's all him. Like they wouldn't have had it without him.
That shit never would have happened without him.
Or at least that's the way they play it.
Or that rat.
No, you're right. You're right, because they built off.
It's a very small part, but it's important.
But
like everybody's role in Endgame.
All they had to do was have Hank Pym alive, not him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I see what you're saying. Civil War is the only time I could say a linchpin. The other one is that they used because of him being in the quantum realm and trapped. Yeah.
Right. He plays he plays key points in those two movies.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's really what he does.
Yeah, you're right. He definitely does. Yeah. It's just such a small factor because they basically take it and run.
Yeah.
They basically go, fuck off, Scott, we're going to do this.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't even know what the fuck he's talking about.
I feel like
he's just mimicking like a parrot.
Ant-Man.
And I have a sandwich.
I don't know where he falls in Civil War and in the Infinity War comics.
In the comics? Well,
I don't know where he falls, but
he's a big part in the comics because he's been around for a long time.
Right.
So he's one of the original top few
is that Hank
comics.
Pym or the Scott Lang version?
So there's like 3 or 4. So Scott Lang, they took the thief version. So Scott Lang is the guy who came in and stole the suit. Hank Pym is the actual Ant-Man. So yeah, the way that they did this was very proper because they actually brought in the original guy, and then they brought into
I
a
didn't
second.
know that. That's cool.
So like, they did really well.
Knew, but like,
they did really well on this, like almost very proper.
Yeah.
To the way the comic stories is. But in the Civil War factor, we can talk about that a little bit later. Is it's Gargantuan Man who dies in the Civil War comics, which starts the separation. But that's a whole other thing. Like,
right.
We mentioned that too, as they start to separate the movies from the comics, and they kind of run with
right.
it.
Yeah,
we start realizing that quite.
They start to really like see this is how the movie version should be versus this is what the comics are.
I think the
comics are way more like broad.
I think they just started realizing it's like, oh, that's a good idea. Let's do this, and then we can do this, and then we can do this. So I'm fine with it. They can take whatever the fuck they want from all the comics.
Oh yeah, they're doing fine.
They're doing great. I love these movies. So,
pardon me.
But yeah, I think that you're right. This is like it's an introduction for greater things. It's not an origin story because the origin story would start with Hank Pym.
Yeah.
And the Hank Pym particles and all that stuff. But this is just an introduction. And how do you feel about Paul Rudd? Like, because this is something like that shocked me, to be honest. When I saw it, I'm like, really, Paul Rudd being a superhero?
It's fine.
I'm
not great. It's not whack.
They found the right person for the role, and I think this is really one of those things where, like, when you cast their actor in the right role, it becomes fine. Like, you may not have expected that person to be a superhero. Like, you take Ryan Reynolds with, doing superhero movies. Like, Deadpool, he's cast properly. Mm-hmm. But he did Green Lantern before that, and that was a dog shit movie.
Yep.
Like, and that's
there's a bunch of other factors to that, but yeah.
Yeah, and then he's not cast as the proper character for Green Lantern.
Marvel.
Right.
Wait, sorry. Let me do this. DC, Marvel.
Exactly. So, I mean, I think it really boils down to they found the right character for Paul Rudd to play.
Yeah.
And he did it well. He would have been terrible as the Hank Pym character, but the Scott Lang version, he leans into well and he does it well.
Yeah. I agree. I agree with that view. It's kind of the way I feel too.
That's one thing Marvel has done phenomenally is casting their characters. Casting.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I thought that shit on Chris Hemsworth with Thor, and I was like, no, he's too skinny. He's not gonna work out. He doesn't fucking look like a god. Fucking proved me wrong.
Yeah,
that motherfucker changed the whole outcome of how Marvel superheroes are gonna be. Because he was the one that went, I'm gonna buff out for this, and he did. And then what's gonna happen? Every motherfucker out there after that goes, I cannot do that. I have to look.
I should probably work out.
Yeah, Chris
Yeah,
Evans
set
is the
the
same
curve.
way. Chris Evans, like, he was in shape, but he had like that model figure, like
Yeah.
skinny model.
He
figure.
wasn't buff. He was just in shape.
He was still in rom cob.
Yeah, he was maybe 160, 170 pounds, and then
Even
he
watch him in The Losers, like he's built like that.
yeah, and then he
versus-
went from that to 230 pounds. So like, yeah, fucking
He still had his Fantastic Four build till he went to Captain America.
yeah. So, and even this, Paul Rudd did the same thing. He worked out. He got in shape. He didn't buff
It's probably
out.
part of the contract they have to sign now.
Probably.
Thanks, Chris.
Probably, yeah, right.
That wouldn't surprise
Probably.
me.
Right?
But
Yeah, he definitely didn't buff out the way the others did. He got in
No.
shape to be a cat burglar, which is what
Which
he is.
is a good thing. He doesn't need to be buff.
he's always had this.
Just needs to be in shape
He's
and
had a
tone.
pudgy laziness. figure
Yeah.
to him.
Yeah.
He's just always been that comfortable, pudgy lazy guy.
That
know.
walks funny.
Yeah, it's 'cause
He's the
we
goon-
talked about this.
Yeah.
He's
'Cause of
the
his hips.
duff.
He walks with his hips.
Yep.
He basically is the duff. He's like the ugly fat friend most of the time, or at least he was until someone figured out that he could be a leading man.
Right? I don't know. It's Friends that really probably did that. It wasn't probably until Friends where he's like, oh, this guy can actually hold his own a little bit.
Yeah, he hasn't
Yeah,
aged
And he can
since-
play the keys. Yeah, so overall, the story is very basic.
It's so, I don't know, cut and dry.
Jason really doesn't like this movie.
No,
I can tell.
He's bitter about it.
It was
There's
fine.
nothing special about it. It is
No, it's-
just a setup, an introduction, and then moving on.
The only part
All
of
the
him,
dialogue is nothing but, this is what's gonna happen next scene. It's all fucking just, oh my god, it's not terrible. Sorry, it's not
No, you're
terrible,
fine.
but it's nowhere near great.
the only part that really seems to be of import is when Sam and Ant-Man
yeah.
fight. Like that whole scene is probably the
Really need you guys to not tell Captain about this.
Yeah,
right. That whole thing, because that comes back later on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it does.
So that's really the only scene of import in this whole movie. Otherwise, everything else is throwaway gear that they're just introducing a character.
So I agree that
I don't mean to come across mad about it. I just like there's nothing special.
as he's
I'll give you that.
yelling about
I'm just trying to project because I'm
Raging
on a
against-
microphone and I'm feeling tired and I want to mumble.
the I agree. Like the dialogue, the story is nothing spectacular. It's very straightforward, very basic. I think it works though. I think
was
it's very
entertain- it
appropriate.
was
I think
entertaining,
it's working.
but, like,
That's what
yeah.
I'm saying. It's
And-
not
and-
terrible
Yeah,
at all.
and it was fun. And I think that's all this movie really
fun.
was supposed to be.
Oh my god, I'm so happy they had the Michael Penne guy in there.
He
Yeah,
was
The
yeah,
whole
he was
three,
fun. He
the
was
three
comic relief.
goons, Ti, fucking whatever, hilarious.
Yep.
They were.
The cronies, as I like to call them.
Yeah.
That seems very appropriate. Cronies. I like it. Yeah, I think those guys were. I mean, I like Paul Rudd. I think that he had some.
Oh, he had some
very
laugh
Paul
out loud
Rudd-ish.
moments.
Him and Janet Van Dyne's dynamic was entertaining to some degree, especially when she hits him in the face. Like, were you trying to go for the hand?
yeah, I like Michael Douglas
Yeah.
in this. I liked him as Hank Penn. I liked it
Yeah.
right away, just right away when he's like, he walks into that room and you have Stark.
Howard Stark.
And then you had the other guy, and he's like, says like, "Oh, don't try to do this because you're a wife." He's like, "Don't look at me, you said it."
Yeah.
Like you get the understanding of what's going on. It's just Michael Douglas has that.
He's got gravitas, which
Yes,
is the
yes, that's-
really
That's what it is. It's that
he
gravitas.
he lends that to this movie. No one else really does anything for this movie, but he lends that the gravitas and the.
You can tell he's the one that's running the show.
Yeah,
is really what it is.
He lends the dignity and the respect that this movie garners. Like
Yes.
it's because Michael Douglas. It's not because of Paul Rudd. It's not because of Evangeline Lilly. Not because of anybody else. Michael Douglas is in this movie, so we should fucking pay attention.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. That's how I felt, and it worked. Everything he was doing was I liked.
Yeah.
I liked how it was. I liked his stubbornness. I liked his non-stubbornness. I like his whatever. I even like what comes off as a very fake goatee. Like it looked so goatee. Like it does not look cleaned up. It looks very bad, but I liked it. I liked it. It just shows you that he's not keeping up.
Honest thing I noticed about him is like when he's driving, especially in that first scene when he drives up to PIM Technologies, he's got driving gloves, and I was like, "Fucking, what the hell is he wearing?"
Driving gloves. Yep.
I was like, "Really?
I
That's
think
fucking
the first
weird."
thing is like Hank Pym or no, Dr. Pym is like, "Yes, I'm alive."
Yeah.
It just drives in. I was like, "Yep." I think that's when you talk about dialogue. There's nothing spectacular at all about the dialogue.
There's witty sort of retorts.
Yes,
really
yes, and that's about the only thing that saves it for the
all
comedy.
comebacks.
The comedy is good reactions and a couple witty things here and there. Yeah,
that's what saves this exactly because there's nothing special about it. The daughter love relationship. No,
whatever. It's not like
I had a hard time with that. I had a hard time believing that he was really going to do it for when he creeped into his daughter's room and like spied on her. I'm like, all of that just bothered me.
Oh, that daughter relationship. I thought you were talking about Hank and his
daughter.
No. I was like,
no. Well, that too is whatever. I don't.
Janet Van Dyne can eat a dick.
I didn't. give two shits about any of that. I didn't like her in this. To be honest, I like her later on. I didn't like her. In
She's
this.
fine in the next movie, but like this one, I was just like, get the fuck over it.
That and her whole fucking. All I thought about was Beetlejuice. Her fucking Beetlejuice
her bangs.
haircut, yeah, or even
her weird bob cut.
Julianne Moore from fucking Big Lebowski, like the same fucking haircut.
Yup.
You know what I'm saying?
It's the same wig.
Yeah, it's probably the same wig.
It's just dyed a different color.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's just that she bothered me in this.
Yeah,
she
me
was just
too.
Like, it was the whole angry child. Like I was mad at my dad because he wasn't there. It's just played out, and she grinds it into the fucking ground.
Right, and then it pissed me off because when they go to the car, Paul Rudd has to explain to her that
she's valuable.
Yeah,
I'm expendable.
He's like he loves you. He doesn't want you to die, so I'm wearing the suit because he wants you to be safe, and it's too risky. I was yelling at the TV. Why the fuck do you need to be told that shit? Like, God, it's so obvious.
Because Dad wasn't there when she was young.
Yeah, I was going to say, she explains it. Well, then he just, like, disappeared for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
So they explain it, but in my opinion, move the fuck on.
And then they walk back in and you get that ham-fisted explanation from Michael Douglas about, like, oh, this is how she died, and then I spent 10 years trying to figure out the quantum realm. You were trying to bring her back. What the fuck is happening?
Oh my God, do you see the accomplishments of your father's fucking career and what he's done?
First of all,
oh my God.
How hard would it be? Like, it's all bullshit right there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the emotional shit that was like, you guys tried and failed so.
The writers,
I don't even think they tried though.
Whoever,
it didn't seem like
getting teary-eyed pissed me off.
Yeah, especially her getting teary-eyed. But it was like halfway through the movie, like, oh shit, we should probably fix this, and they just like shoved lines in the movie. We're like,
and like I said,
fix it.
That's where I feel like they intentionally sabotaged it with Paul Rudd going, oh, this is just great. You guys, I ruined the moment, didn't I? Yes, you did.
Yeah,
I think it's because of that. I think that's what
we don't want anybody to really
well,
linger on this, so let's just put a comedy bit right after it.
And Paul Rudd's perfect for that shit.
Oh, totally. He's a perfect awkward man.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, for sure.
He is the greatest person to put in an awkward situation and be able to get out of any awkward situation and still make it awkward.
Right.
What a fucking
charmingly awkward.
Yeah, that's his comedic like genius right there. That's why I like Paul Rudd.
That's why Ryan Reynolds and him should do a movie together.
I'm so curious about that. I just don't know how well it would work.
Maybe it's too much of that.
Just
that's
too
what I'm
much
saying.
awkward
I think
situation.
it's too much wittiness. You know, you can only have too much witty
and too much charm of similar charm.
You would have to see them be like the foil to each other somehow. Like
maybe they can do a Dr. and Jekyll Hyde comedy.
Oh yeah, that could be interesting. Yeah, that could be interesting.
I was thinking something like a switcheroo movie or Freaky Friday. I was like, fine, if I'm gonna watch one more.
He's already done that with Jason Bale.
Yeah, and that worked pretty well.
But the Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde thing is better.
That could be interesting.
Or they could just cuddle in bed. I'll listen to him talk.
I'd watch that. I wonder if they've ever done any interviews. I don't know. I'm curious about that.
Let's
make that happen.
It's just weird they never met.
If they had cast Ryan Reynolds instead of Jason Segel in I Love You Man.
Oh my God, no.
No, I don't think that would have worked because Jason Segel has this uncomfortable grotesqueness about him.
There he is. Yeah,
Valid.
I
That
like
you
that.
just go.
I was thinking Ryan Reynolds was too pretty for that part.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
All right, I'll give you that.
So, but
Anyway, moving back to
moving back to
subjects.
Ant-Man. So, what was the primary conflict about this? What was the whole purpose of this film? But other than the introduction, we got that. But like, what was this movie's
For who?
biggest?
Everybody had their own fucking thing.
They really did, didn't they?
Yeah. Scott Lang, Hank Pym, Janet Van Dyne, and Damian Cross all had different things going on.
Yeah. Well,
So
let's
who
list
do you
them
want
off.
to talk about
Let's
first?
list them off. So, bad guy. What was his?
Damian
worst
Cross.
villain.
He
Yeah, he was a terrible villain.
He basically
Unbelievable.
wanted to upstage Hank Pym by proving that he could do it better
And how did he do that?
by stealing the technology, essentially. No.
Pretty much, but he turned around and sold his shit to Hydra.
Yeah. They're not the same. They're not what
Hydra,
they used
yeah.
to be.
Still fucking Hydra. As soon as that brought in,
And right in
oh
front
my
of them all,
God.
he goes, I sold it for twice the price.
Here's-
Like, he just ripped everybody off. And I'm like, dude, they're still in the fucking room.
Yeah, yeah, right. No, he did.
You're a terrible salesman.
He really did. Oh yeah, yeah. He's like, I'm not gonna give you all the fuel. It
And they
doesn't run
tried-
on diesels.
and
You
they-
gotta come to me.
They try to pepper in the emotion with a little bit of when the villain goes to Pym's house, and then he's all like, "Why'd you choose me?" And Michael
Yeah.
Douglas, because I saw myself, and then they tried to.
Yeah.
I was like, "Go fuck yourself!" But the funny thing is that Michael Douglas is so self-centered. He just keeps choosing candidates that remind him of himself.
Yeah.
He finally found Scott Lang that is the good part of
Wasn't
himself.
wasn't really like him.
No, his story's the same.
Stubbornness. Well, yeah.
Yeah, daughter, something like
Yeah.
that. They say something at the end. I was
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, they had a similar.
but it was a
Situation.
crybaby villain temper tantrum. Fucking like,
He was
ooh,
a giant fucking baby.
oh my God.
Yeah.
That whole thing. Yeah. This whole scheme was.
Oh, daddy didn't love me kind of concept.
Yeah.
Daddy issues.
His whole arc was, I'll show you.
Can't be a superhuman or a supervillain or a superhero without daddy issues.
Push
make
me
my-
away, Dad.
Go make my own pimp technology.
Not even my
Blackjack
real
and
father.
hookers.
Yep.
Yeah, him and lady with bad wig, they should have really connected. They really should have connected better because they just cry about the same shit.
She should have went on his side.
She was wearing Uma Thurman's wig from Pulp Fiction.
Yep. Yes, she was.
That's
Wonder how many other films we can name.
Anyway, next we had.
I feel like Anne Hathaway has a film that she fucking wears a wig like that too.
Parada. Or, I don't know.
Oh, she a
The Devil
fucking
Was- no, The
What
Devil Was
Dreams May
Prada.
Come.
What Dreams May Come?
Yep.
Anne Hathaway's not in that movie.
No, I'm saying that.
Oh, you're talking about
the wig.
I was like, what the fuck's he talking
She has
about?
the same fucking
I remember,
haircut.
yeah, Annabella Sciorra has that same fucking wig.
Yep.
The fuck is with that wig?
I don't know.
It's made some
Terrible.
rounds.
Terrible. It would be great if it, was the same wig too.
It cuts the budget cost.
It's the same wig that short lady wears in The Incredibles.
The fucking animated show?
Yeah.
That's not
Sorry.
the same wig.
All right.
Somebody took the
They
time
had
to
to paint
draw
that
that
one on.
wig. But Janet Van Dyne is all about like. She even says like at some point it's like, oh, I'm trying to reconnect with my dad, like because she was hoping that like her trying to stop the bad guy was some way to
Yeah.
reconnect, but like she is fighting him at every point.
Yeah, like it's just a bunch of fucking stubborn bullshit. It's basically just butting heads about nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
we
mad
can't
at
let
my
go.
dad because he wasn't there, so I'm gonna do this, but I'm gonna be mad at him the
I'm gonna make
whole
it
time.
I'm gonna make
Yeah.
it so hard.
And then Hank is like, "Well, I just want to, I want her to be my daughter, but she won't let me in."
Right.
And then
I don't
she's
want
bitching about
I don't
him
want
not
to
being
lose
in
her.
because she won't let him in. Yeah, it's all. Yeah, I agree. It's all fucking
It's
bullshit.
tropish bullshit. And then, of course, Paul Rudd being the felon or the convict or whatever, like he has to like find a way to re-ingratiate himself with his family so he can see his daughter, which is again, a lot of the stuff is all tropes that have already been done, and they just fucking ran with them.
I like how simple they kept it. He was like, "Oh, what do I need to do, Judy Greer?" And she's like,
Get an apartment, get a job.
Yeah,
It's all, motherfucker. And like I was like, "Come on now, like, does that have to be
I
said?"
like the civility behind
but it is simple.
everything too. Nobody was yelling at each other or like,
Oh,
screaming.
yeah.
You know, there wasn't a
Other-
lot of hostility behind it.
No, it's just
even
that
the cop,
stupid
even the cop
villain.
guy. Even the cop guy.
Bobby Cannonball. They
Yeah.
they have like that little bit of like he calls him an asshat and like, oh, watch your language. Like,
Yeah.
come on.
But even
Because
then,
it's not a birthday party.
even then, like he's like genuinely
Oh.
like, hey, you know, like when he was in jail, is like, their hearts are gonna be broken. Like he was genuinely like they were rooting for you.
Mhm.
Like why would you know what I mean? Like he wasn't like doing it out of spite. He was genuinely like saying, hey, you're breaking their fucking hearts, man, and it hurts me.
Yeah.
That
You
was
know what I
one
mean?
thing at the end of the movie when they like gained
Connect,
respect or
yeah.
got on the same level. I felt that because
Yeah, I like that.
yeah,
I did like that too. Like
That's
it
one
was
ugly ass dog.
it's a little ham-fisted, but I mean I do like the fact that like at the end they're all four of them are like at the table.
Just shows
Yeah.
the civility. Is
Yeah.
what I'm
Mhm.
getting at. Like, there's no hostile. This isn't a hostile bad family. It's just he fucked up. They weren't gonna deal with it. They moved on. He wants to be a part of it. You know
but
what I mean?
yeah, being a felon is
It's-
not an
yeah,
easy
they're
life to
not-
get out of.
They're not lingering on or sitting on that too much.
Right.
They
Yeah.
just but here it is.
Yep.
And
Is
he
it-
doesn't come off like he's a fighter or not fighter, but you know what I mean, like
He's not aggressive. He's not
Yeah,
belligerent about
that's what it
anything.
is.
Like he's not resentful of anything. He's just like, I want to be in my daughter's life. Like, and this is like
keeps
I'm trying to
making
do.
bad choices.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
all.
he just once again, it's
fucking
all he knows. It's all he's
Him
good at.
him even says it like anytime something gets hard, you automatically run back to a life of crime. Like you just automatically take the easy route.
So, one issue that I saw with this is the he's supposed to be physical and stuff like that. We get that sense like right away when he breaks into Hank Pym's house. He's doing this whole fucking parkour climbing up with a fucking house.
Yeah.
And she's like, that's the only physicality that we see from him though. Like the true test of like
Is he
physical
capable to wear the
capabilities.
suit?
That's the only time. Everything else is in the red suit, or he's learning to fight, and that's it. We
The
don't
training
see
shit was
anything.
so
Yeah.
weak. It was just
Oh my
like
God.
it reminded me of Star Wars. Like, oh, training for 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And then now you're like a fucking professional doing gymnastics.
I did like when he's like, "Oh, run through the keyhole," and then each time you see him, they're
Yeah.
wearing something different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was clever
That was cool.
because then it shows you that it's been days, not just.
Yep.
Which, by the way, didn't they say like, oh, we only have like 3 days or something like that to get this? But like he's going through like weeks of training in this montage. There's no way he picks it up in 3 days.
No, but like everything just happens in
Yeah,
this movie.
just happens.
Can I tell you the
accept it.
one thing I
Yeah.
really got mad about in this movie?
Ooh, please.
So Ant-Man takes all this time to learn how to use the suit and to be good in the suit. And Damian Cross, that what his name is? Yeah. Puts his yellow jacket suit on once and is a fucking expert.
Yeah.
You know, I said the same thing about that, and the only justification I can give is he designed the fucking thing.
But I mean,
That's the only justification I can give. 'cause
design
same-
I give you.
Yeah.
But Pym even says like it took so much time for him to learn how to control it and like to be able to adjust with it because it's so disorienting. If that's the first time he puts that on and the first time it works,
I think the only thing that you can say is that even Hank Pym said it to Scott was like, he has determination, Scott doesn't. So like, you have to like be in the zone, right? So it's about the zone. The bad guy was in the zone.
I
So
guess.
he's like in the middle of battle, like he's doing
Yeah.
it. He's figuring out. It's like a football
But
player in a
he's-
field.
Scott
He's
didn't have
far more
enough daddy.
emotional too, though. Like he's screaming and like
Boy,
saying something like,
it's-
"I'm gonna vaporize you."
Yeah, like, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I think he was just fueled by like passion,
Daddy issues.
Maybe, yeah.
and
I
so
don't
like that's the only justification is he designed the tech,
It's a
so he
thin
knows how it
argument.
works. And then
This whole thing is thin.
and then he was fueled by anger and rage and passion.
All right,
and,
I'll give you
and
that
Scott
one.
Lang was not. You know that he was just like, I got to do this because I got to do it, but his heart wasn't in it, and that's what I think. That's what's his nuts said. Hank Pym says like your heart's got to be in it, kind of thing. It's got a clear mind and.
I remember
gotta be
that
into
part
it.
about talking to the ants. I don't remember that being part of like the fucking suit.
Oh, what is up with the? Okay, I guess they're fire ants or that bite or whatever, and but
Which ones?
At the end,
There's like 95 of them.
at the end, like he's gonna kill Michael Doug, the villain Cross or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
He has a gun to Michael. He's like, I need to do it myself. And then the lady's like, ants bite his hand, and he's just like, It's like, what the fuck? Like,
The carpenter ants. Their bites supposed to.
I guess it did leave a mark, but it was such a weird.
Well, at the time he was shooting the gun, he couldn't
a bunch of
pull
them
the
in the
trigger
hammer.
because they were in the hammer. That was the only thing, and then he realized, oh, what the fuck?
But it was
this?
just the way they reacted. They were just like, oh, get off me, like it was spiders or snakes or something.
I mean, if you see an ant that big on you, though,
fair enough.
That many. I guess.
Especially, if there's more than 7 of them on your hand,
maybe I wasn't wearing my glasses and everything just looked silly on screen.
Not to mention, the bullet ants were the ones that were like in the 10, like the pain scale of 10.
Yeah, they're on the top of the pain scale.
Those were biting.
Right on.
My only issue, if they were that painful, and I've seen those videos of those fuckers putting their fucking fist in a bucket full of those goddamn things, and they can't hold it.
Those guys should have collapsed right away.
That was my issue.
Just
I'm like,
rolling
they're a pain scale of 10, and yet these fuckers are like,
Right, okay.
Pew, pew. That's all I heard. Pew, pew.
Well, then one of those carpenter ants gets taken out by a bullet.
Pew.
Yeah, that, and trying to
shooting at a swarm of ants.
But even like he's in a plane or something, the villain.
Shooting
at Scott, yeah. Like,
they got the wing.
And people are just like, what are you doing? This is a terrible idea. He's like, window, guy. Well, suitcase. Boom.
Yeah.
And then he's shooting, like the bullet's bigger than Scott Lang. Like, what the fuck?
And just happens to shear the ant out from underneath him.
Yep.
I don't know. He would have been better off with like a fly swatter than a fucking pistol.
Or
trying to shoot him.
a flamethrower or something like that. Just
or that's
a great idea.
Not do anything because all you had to do is fly away.
Yeah. Taking off would have been a great idea.
Fly away. That helicopter would move a lot faster than those insects.
I was gonna say I don't think carpenter ants can keep up with a helicopter at full speed.
Nope. Yeah. Here we are nitpicking the shit out of it though.
Yeah.
We're all some entomologists. We know a lot about bugs.
But I think this movie, whoever wrote and directed it, they knew it was always meant to be silly.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. I think all the stuff that we're harping on is like, it's
minutia.
Yeah. The whole goal of this was an introduction to Ant-Man, and I think it was supposed to be fun and funny.
Yeah.
And it was
especially once you see the cast they build and everything else. Like, it's definitely not meant to be a serious movie.
Yeah,
it's not Captain America in any sense of the word.
Yeah, this is the least serious film that we've had.
There's a reason probably why Ant-Man's not like, even though he's a mainstay of the Avengers, like he's not.
He's not in the cinematic world.
And he's definitely not, I don't think he has his own set of comics.
Yeah.
Does he?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Like he's been around for a long time. He's had his own run. Before even like most of them, like Thor and stuff like that. Like he's an older comic.
Oh, okay.
So, but that's kind of what I think is interesting.
I suppose in recent years, like in the last like 20 or so, like I don't think he's really had his own run.
I couldn't tell you about that.
I know in the older ones he was a bigger name, but like I think he's kind of gone to the wayside now that Thor and Iron Man.
And depending on what comic it is, he's retired, he's had a family, and all this stuff too. So like, but yeah, like Ant-Man and Wasp was, I don't know, they're like, it's a real thing. They were
getting choked up over there.
No,
it's a real thing.
I like blinked and I got like eyelash in my eye. Now it itches. But yeah, I don't know. I think that he's the least important character.
Yeah.
And any of it right now. So I think it's just an extra. And I honestly,
he's
much as I enjoyed
he's the
movie,
link to the future time shit.
Travel. He's a linchpin for other stuff, but I mean he's not in and of himself worthy of like a really big or heavy storyline, I don't think.
Well, and that's where like it gets better.
Yeah.
And like the second film, I thought was so much better.
The second film is much better.
Because it holds on to that heavy seriousness too. I wonder if it's even the same writers or not. So we'll have to talk about when we get there because I'm very curious. Because I agree. Like this is a very just fun. I remember walking into the theater not expecting much. Going,
and
Paul
you don't
Rudd's
get much.
Right? Paul Rudd's not a fucking superhero. But I walked out going, that was better than I thought. I enjoyed that.
And he's still not a superhero.
He's still not a superhero. But I enjoyed that. It was funny. It was fun. And I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
Yeah, I definitely, it's not great. But I enjoyed the shit out of this movie. I really do. I like to watch
this.
It definitely doesn't have the impact that the others have.
No. And this is one of those films I've probably watched 4 or 5 times.
I've done it
since it's
twice.
coming out. So, like, I remember watching it in theaters, and I've probably seen it you know.
This is my third time watching. I rewatched it when the Ant-Man and the Wasp came out.
Yeah, I think I did the same thing.
Yeah.
Yep, because I wanted to be one of those guys.
Mm-hmm.
Watch it original before the second.
Yeah, I like to do that shit.
Yep. So I guess we don't have much else. Do you?
I can't think of anything else to talk about.
No,
We've summed it up.
Basically, said it was just characters that we liked, and some of the characters we did not.
Oh my god, there's a lot of bad or not a lot, but there's some like that. That doesn't matter. There's shitty performances that make me go, "What the fuck? You're lucky to be in this movie. You're so goddamn bad."
Yeah.
You know somebody.
Just remember, Baskin Robbins, man. They always find out.
Baskin Robbins?
Baskin Robbins. Kaylee asked me about
Do you call it Baskin Robbins?
Baskin Robbins.
He said that.
I was trying to sound Boston. Like I can't do it. I'm not from that area.
I don't think even in Boston they call it Baskin Robbins.
No, that's what it sounds like when they're saying it in the movie. Kaylee didn't know what that was. She's like, "Is that like a burger place, like Dairy Queen, or not Dairy Queen? Like I don't know, like
that's
a
a whole
burger
fucking
place."
Joke.
And I was like, "No, it's
whatever's
ice
hot and
cream
ready.
shot."
We have ice cream.
That's what I told her. She said that. She asked me about that while that was on at that moment where the fucking idiot guy from Superstore was in there, and I was like, "Do you know who that is?" I was like, "He looks familiar. Where's it from?" I'm like, "From Superstore." He's like, "Oh yeah." It's like, "What is Baskin Robbins?" And I'm like, "It's like, is it like a burger place?"
31 flavors of ice cream.
He was literally just saying, like, you paying attention? Of course she wasn't. Anyway, yeah, let's move on. Let's move on from this one. So, that is wrapping up though, man. That's done. We're done with phase 2. That was the last film of phase 2. We only got 2 shorts in this phase. Yeah. So I wonder how many more in the next one. So yeah, we'll be starting phase 3 next week.
With
Civil War.
Civil War is the first one?
Civilian War.
Okay. Because I couldn't remember. I know I keep looking at it because I keep feeling like
I remember because that's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
And we'll have that debate next week.
It's one of the last movies I saw in the theater.
Wow.
I haven't been to a theater in a long time.
Holy shit, that's a long time, yeah.
It is a long time. So this month of May, we are going to be doing the musicals. So let's dive into musicals. And I found this to be a little bit easier. Actually, I thought it was going to be pretty easy for me. But Aram, I know you were very reluctant to do this.
I was dreading it, honestly, but I was able to find a bunch of musicals that I've seen and was able to go, oh, okay, these are standable.
And I know, Jason, you were the one that said it, and I think you had the hardest.
Yeah, absolutely. I just, I like to put words together that
that
sounds good.
It's exactly what it
is. No words are coming out of my mouth.
I take no responsibility for the words that are coming out of my mouth.
And then I'm a product of, somebody thinks that's a good idea? Yay.
Shit.
Let's do it.
So.
Oh, you thought that was a great idea? Oh, well, fuck me.
So, yeah.
I had no idea they'd listen to me on this one.
Right? Oh, finally, somebody listens to me. Then I have to follow through.
So, yeah, this is a new chapter in my life.
This is why he has no relationship. So.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
He starts saying shit and he's going to have to do it. And he's like, what?
Commitment issues.
That's me. So, all right. Well, Jason, why don't you start with this one?
All right.
Take that.
I'm going to cheat. You might be mad, but I don't watch many musicals. So, 1992, Aladdin.
Why don't you just do the live action then?
Fuck you. Although
it's the same fucking movie.
No, it's not.
It's the same fucking movie.
It's not.
It's live
action.
The
songs are different. The fucking things are different. The heart isn't there.
Will Smith just Will Smith the shit out of those songs is what happened.
He slapped the shit out of them.
Treated like Chris Rock.
Treated it like it was small. Whatever. Aladdin. It was my fucking first date. I went to saw that in the theater, brought my first.
That's kind of buck wild.
Yeah. That's how old I am.
That you would bring your first date to a Disney cartoon?
In 1992.
Another reason why I'm not good at relationships.
How old were you?
I don't fucking know. 13. 8. Oh, shit. I was 10.
I was 8.
It was 1992.
Yep, I was 10 or 11.
Are you sure you didn't bring her to like the second or third Aladdin? Because 10 seems weird for a date.
No offense.
I know, right?
I don't feel like you were that lucky with girls back then.
No, I was. But yeah, I had to get dropped off and picked up.
I mean, that starts at that can go anywhere up to 15.
No,
or even 18 if you didn't have
my
a
stepdad
license.
had to drive me to the theater and then pick me up. Is what I'm saying.
Again, that can be anywhere up to 15.
That can run up to even 18 if you didn't have a license.
Oh, yeah, I didn't until I was 19.
So we've got some indiscrepancies.
Aram still has that issue.
Oh shit! Never mind. It might not have been a new movie because we had the cheap
dollar
seats.
theater.
We had the cheap seats at the time. It was definitely that with the sticky floor. Fuck yeah. They did not pay for people to mop.
93 is what we're looking at, baby.
Maybe 94.
Either way, fuck you. I like the songs. They're fucking amazing.
Yeah, Aladdin's one of my favorite Disney.
Aladdin's one of the dope.
It's kind of the best Disney one for me.
Yeah. I loved the songs too. I mean, Gilbert Gottfried, R.I.P.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And I love that.
Robin Williams, R.I.P.
A
too.
whole new world.
Yeah.
I think that's a great song.
I've forgotten the guy that plays Aladdin.
He is. He's the same guy who was in.
Did he play The Lion King too?
No, that was Matthew Broderick.
Oh yeah, it is.
Matthew Broderick was one of them.
He was the older version. Otherwise,
there's one in the mid.
Thomas Taylor kid.
Oh,
Jonathan
okay,
Taylor Thomas.
Then I know who you're talking about.
But
he's
no, the guy he was in.
Sandra Bullock.
The guy who played Aladdin is the same guy who.
Yeah, he's in Love Potion number 9 with Sandra Bullock.
Sandra Bullock's not in that movie. It's just the lady that looks like her.
Love Potion number 9.
That's Sandra Bullock and what's his face from Aladdin.
He's in the OC.
Gross.
I love the OC. Up until season 4, and then it was like, what the fuck is this? Anyway.
Up until season 4, huh?
Yeah. Because then it got really bad.
Then it got
really cheesy. What's the next one?
Scott Weinger.
1993. The Nightmare Before Christmas. So I'm cheating. I feel like I'm cheating because I'm using animations, but
you are.
You are, and
but when it comes to like musicals, like this is the shit.
I mean, I think
damn that I watched a lot of this movie, and yeah,
this one you can get away with a little bit because it wasn't like a Disney animated.
Oh, this dude was in Full House.
Very different.
So, huh?
The dude was in Full House. He was
that's what I was trying to think of. It was Full House. He played.
I'm thinking of the guy that played Hercules for some reason.
Yeah, no, that's the guy from the OC. I was trying to think of Full House. He was also.
He was the boyfriend in Full House of DJ.
DJ's boyfriend.
The wrestler.
Steve.
Steve.
Thank you. See, I kept trying to think of his name in Full House, and I couldn't even say Full House because I was trying to think of his fucking name. Mm-hmm. But I don't like
Steve's
Full House,
House Full.
So fuck off.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah. So Tim Burton's fucking Nightmare Before Christmas.
Legit.
Yeah, it's only an hour and 16 minutes long. Jesus.
He covers enough shit in that.
Yeah.
He really does.
That's why I'm like, wow, that's fucking... You got a lot done in a short amount of time.
Like, I hate the fact that it became so trendy.
And you mean like the fact that everyone goes to Hot Topic for shit for it?
Hot Topic. I fucking hate Hot Topic for making things.
Yeah.
Now saying that, yeah, I used to shop at Hot Topic quite a bit when I was in high school.
All when we were in high school?
Yep.
It was the only place to get
when you. But didn't you grow up and you learn better?
Yeah.
So those are what you call mistakes in life.
For sure.
That's what I call Media Play went out of business, and I was stuck going to fucking.
Yeah.
I will say
I miss Media Play.
Right? Oh, the best.
Still to this day, though, Hot Topic does have some really cool band shirts still.
Yeah.
And
it's the only place that has cool band shirts, really.
Unless you go to a concert. And they you can buy a lot of albums and CDs and stuff that you can't find elsewhere anymore.
You can?
Yeah, like Sam Goody and stuff used to have
Sam Goody.
Shit like that, or Suncoast, you know what I mean? Like used to be able to go find those random, like kind of odd things.
Sam Goody, yeah.
But Sam Goody.
Hot
Media
Topic
Play was good for that too.
Yeah.
But Sam Goody was overpriced. It was like the fucking Byerly's of.
That's why I hated Suncoast too. It's the same thing. You want to go buy something? It's fucking overpriced.
Then Best Buy came out and went, fuck you.
Yeah.
That's because they weren't a part of the mall.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, those mall prices.
It's true.
Yeah, man, rent's not cheap.
Nope, it's a real thing.
That's for sure.
So. Yeah, take that. Look at you now, malls.
What did you like about Nightmare Before Christmas? Did you have a favorite song in it?
It's been so long since I've watched
Jack's
it. But
Lament.
It's
the one he sings in the graveyard.
Oh.
Right after the parade.
I don't know.
I just
You
know,
realize that Jack's sad.
Halloween,
They're all amazing.
Halloween.
That's the opening one.
But
I
the
know,
animation
I like that.
story,
But Marilyn
the
Manson does a version of that. It's
Oh,
really
yeah.
good.
I've heard that one.
Who?
Marilyn Manson.
Oh,
He does a
wow.
version of that opening scene, and it's really good. That's
Nice.
pretty decent. It's not great, but it's pretty decent.
That's a good question, though. I should probably look into my favorite song on these musicals and answer that shit going forward this month.
I just gave you mine from yours, so I just gave you mine from yours. Whole New World, I love that one.
Yeah,
And
that's-
actually, Aladdin. Almost all the songs were fucking.
Yeah.
Well, every
Great.
single song in Nightmare Before Christmas works. Even the creepy one with the Santa. Oh, no, I can't remember. This, I don't know.
I know what you're talking about.
Okay, thanks.
I like Never.
All right.
It's when
What's
Lock,
your other
Stock,
one?
and Barrel kidnap Santa Claus and then bring him to Oogie Boogie.
Yes.
Boogie Boogie.
Yes.
Little Boogie Man.
It's like a seductive
This
thing.
looks like a green ghost.
Yeah.
He's a burlap sack filled with bugs.
I know, but but he just looks like a green ghost when he's like trying to be all scary
Oh, yeah, when everything's in neon for no
Yeah.
fucking reason.
for whatever reason. Although I do
Tim
love,
Burton's got this odd thing with neon every now and again.
I do love the concept of the doors, though.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
thought that was super.
Hell yeah.
I don't know. I
was
liked
intriguing,
that. It was
for sure.
intriguing. I liked how they did that. You got
Mhm.
Christmas World, Easter, whatever.
Towns. Christmas Town.
Towns. That's what it is.
Mhm.
Yeah. I thought it was kind of cool. So, sorry.
No problem. Moving
Next.
on. 2019.
Oh, moving up in the world.
Yeah, that's right. Rocket Man.
Rocket Man.
Burning up this
The
fuel up hell
musical
alone.
fantasy about the fantastical human story of Elton John's breakthrough years. Fantastical human. Whatever.
So is this-
Musical fantasy that's fantastical? That's redundant.
Right? I was just like, I was mad at it. Like, you're making me say these words. Elton John, never bought any of his albums, never will. But I always respect a few of his songs that I hear. And he definitely changed music and was a big part of it.
It was.
And this movie, fuck yeah. Oh shit. Actually, watching it made me want to maybe buy some shit. Because I don't know, you give a fuck about his story. His daddy issues, but the way they paint the picture is awesome. And it has these weird checkpoints in the film where they just break out in music, but it's like part of the progress of his
His career.
his
music?
self
Discovery.
yeah, you
So
know,
it's a legit musical.
it is.
Wait, I've never seen
is.
it.
But
Neither have I.
I've been meaning to. Though.
but it has these visual metaphors that are just fucking astounding, and it's a great fucking film.
And it's Egerton.
Taron Egerton
Taron
from, The
Egerton who
Kingsman?
plays him, right? He was in.
Oh yeah,
Kingsman.
Yeah.
Yep.
He was also in Sing. He was the
Well, yeah,
gorilla
he's the
in Sing.
gorilla. Yep. You
Oh
don't get to see his face. It's an animation.
yeah. We've
Sorry,
talked
but
about
he's-
enough animations.
He's fucking credited. Excuse the shit out of me.
But yeah, phenomenal performance, and I don't know, it's just a good story. It's way better than Bohemian Rhapsody, the Freddie Mercury one, because they came out similar. That's what
It
probably
was
came out.
pretty. It was like a year
They were pretty
after.
close
I think,
together, yeah.
But I've been telling you to watch this for a while now,
You have, and
because I think you'll really like everything I just.
Well, I like Elton John. Elton John, and you're right. He changed the music world. He was a part of the transition of glam rock. So
Mhm.
you had David Bowie.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, there's a small group. You had David Bowie, and you had Elton John, and they were the ones that defined the glam rock in almost two different styles. But it was both European. It was both British
Yeah.
rock.
Yeah.
And then you had in America, you had Prince and Madonna that came shortly after.
Yeah.
And those two were the ones that created the sexual edginess, the aggression of sexual
Yeah, added
exploration
sexuality to
and
it.
stuff to
essentially.
it. And they took that from the Elton John and the David Bowie.
Right.
But those are the ones that created glam rock.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then you kind of expanded out. But they were the birth of that stuff.
He was part of inspiring future artists and blah blah blah. He changed music.
It's like one of the few things I remember from my fucking music history course in school.
And in this movie to watch him overcome stage fright and like just get in, like just rely on his talent for music, because he's just natural born. He can't help it, but know how to play music. I guess he just sits down
Virtuoso, I
by
believe is the
fucking
term.
ear, just can copy and
That's cool.
yeah. And I don't check this shit out. Anybody listening, Not Aaron,
I like
but
Elton
you.
John. Yep, I like
That was
Elton.
getting the wrong notes.
Doesn't
on me,
seem
bro.
like your shit, yeah.
I like Elton John. I mean, Rockin' Man's the greatest song. Tiny Little Dancer is the greatest song. Like
Right.
I like Elton John. I've always liked Elton John. So
Hell yeah.
yeah, I'll have to check it out. I've been meaning to, and I just never fucking.
Well, this
remember to.
podcast episode will remind you.
Yes, it will.
We can only hope.
All right. I choose Tim to go next.
Oh.
Ooh.
I choose you, Pikachu.
I just chose to make that thing
Bitch a chew, I choose you.
a chew.
Ha.
Thanks.
A Jew here.
Oh.
I didn't say
Okay.
a Jew, I said I chew.
So it was pretty fucking easy for me and hard too, because I had to like not pick certain films.
Whatever, nerd.
Because for example, I wanted to pull a freaking Jason over here and talk about Men in Tights, but
You already did.
exactly.
Oh, that's me.
so,
I
wait, that's
repeat
me.
choices.
so I didn't do that.
My memory's not on retainer.
But I will talk about. Oh man, I don't know which one comes first.
Go in order.
That's what I'm trying to think of.
Come on, nerd.
I'll do this one. So
You sure?
no,
I'm gonna bring up the text message you put before, so I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna pay attention to which ones you're doing.
Hold them accountable.
Interrupt me. No.
I'm gonna find out if your word is bond right now.
so I'm gonna do the Phantom of the Opera,
Mm.
Sure.
and this is the 2004 Gerard Butler Phantom of the Opera.
No shit.
The
I didn't know.
Yep, Gerard Butler actually sings too in this.
Mhm.
He's actually singing in it.
How many people does he kick in the chest?
I'm sure there's one. I'm sure. Patrick Wilson is
And
in
it's
it,
Tim.
and
Emotionally.
Yes.
Kicked him in the chest. Patrick Wilson is from Insidious, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Took me a moment to remember who that guy was.
So I really do like this movie.
I hope so.
Well, here's my thing. I was a huge fan of the original Phantom of the Opera.
How old is that?
This one,
The original.
The original is from the
Isn't it?
40s or 50s?
It's old as
It's
fuck.
black and white.
Yeah, it's black and white.
Mm-hmm. Well,
I was like, I think it's roamed right up there with like the Bela Lugosi's Dracula and fuck, I can't remember who played the mummy. Boris Karloff. I almost said Viggo Mortensen. That's not right.
That's Ghostbusters too.
I said Viggo Mortensen or Abe Vigoda. Neither one of those is right.
1925.
There it is.
I was
Yeah, I
fucking
knew
way
it was
off with the 40s.
Yep, 1925. So,
Oh yeah.
but they've had a couple versions over the years
Yeah.
too. So
Yeah.
you have 1989 that came out with one too. But this was one of the first few films that when I was a kid and I rented at the library. I mentioned this, and I think in one of our episodes.
Yeah.
This was one of the ones I used to rent a lot. Was the Phantom of the Opera?
We talked about the horror movies.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah, because you
And-
talked about your love of the originals.
Yeah, and I don't know. It's just one of those things. So when they came up with this newer one, and they actually it's an actual musical. Like they actually have songs. Of course, I was just drawn into it, and especially with Gerard Butler. Like I was a fan of Gerard Butler. I liked him, but it was good. It's just like the right kind of dark, romantic, cheesy, beautiful kind of stuff that I like.
Yeah.
So I dig it. And I was just more impressed when I found that Gerard Butler was actually singing because I feel like he doesn't have.
Right.
He's got the kind of voice you wouldn't expect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went, but I also didn't know. He doesn't look like he'd be a carny, but he was. He did a traveling circus for a while.
I think he looks like a carny. But
The next one is going to be a 2008, and this was actually a web series called Dr. Horrible Sing-Along Blog. And
Neil
this is-
Patrick Harris.
Yep, Neil Patrick
Nathan
Harris, Nathan
Fillion.
Fillion, Felicia Day. And
God
this is
damn.
Joss Whedon.
That
Yeah,
sounds about
motherfucker,
right.
really?
Joss Whedon created this. Yeah.
I love that shit.
Yes.
I saw it on Netflix.
And Simon Helberg, which is in Big Bang Theory. He played Howard.
oh, okay.
The
Yeah,
nerdy
yeah,
Oh,
Howard.
okay.
Yep. He's in. I've only seen that guy ever in like 3 things.
I was like, I don't know a lot of his stuff, but I know I've seen him in other things.
Yeah, this is great. It is great.
It is a flawless.
It's funny. It's witty. It's got good. Like this is one of those comedic kind of almost satirical musicals. This is almost like a Mel Brooks style, just not Mel Brooks. Stamp. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like finger.
Neil Patrick Harris can sing.
Oh yeah. Oh,
his
he's a showman.
He's a showman. To every sense of the word.
And Nathan Fillion has some of the greatest.
Yeah, he's the villain, right?
Yeah. Well, he's the
hammer.
Hero.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's the Hammer, Captain Hammer.
Yeah.
He's supposed to be the hero, but Neil Patrick Harris is the villain who wants the girl, who happens to be just a regular average Joe girl.
Okay.
But Nathan Fillion gets the girl because it's what happens.
Yeah.
So
the story's told from the villain's point of view.
Yes.
Right on.
Yep. And Felicia Day is the Penny, the girl who they're going after. But Nathan Fillion has some of the best lines, like something about the hammer. Yes, I'm talking about my penis. It's like just things like that. It's Nathan Fillion being Nathan Fillion. So I love it. I first oh wow, Ben Edlund.
Okay.
So he's the guy who created the Tick.
And for whatever reason, it sounded like you said the Dick, so I'm going to make sure you said the Tick, right?
He's the one who created the Tick. He also did Supernatural. The whole thing. Like he was the one who created the Tick, like the actual thing. The cartoon, whatever, the character. He also did Angel. He wrote for Supernatural for like the entire show.
That name sounds really familiar. That's why that name sounds familiar.
He's one of the writers and producers. And I didn't know that he did this too. He was a part of the writers. Oh, he wrote for Gotham.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. Damn, I didn't know that. That's awesome. That just made me even like this even better. Fuck, where is it?
I feel like you've done nothing off the ones you said you were going to.
I gave you 2 weeks worth. So
yeah, and week 1 had none of these so far.
I didn't say which one I was going to do first.
Lies.
I did
lies. I will bring up the text message.
Oh my god.
I will choose Rock of Ages. So 2012 Rock of Ages. This surprised me on how much I enjoyed it.
Is it Tom Cruise in this one?
Yes, he is. He plays the main. He's only in it for a little bit, but he plays like the big rock star, and he's whatever. It was whatever, but it was a comedy. It was funny. It's a comedy, drama, musical. Same people who did Hairspray, and I've never saw Hairspray, but same people.
I've seen both versions of Hairspray,
but
it's whatever.
I think what sells me on this.
I don't get it.
What sells me on this movie was Alec Baldwin and Russell Brand. I think are funny because it's about Alec Baldwin owns this nightclub, which is on Sunset or whatever, which everybody goes to. So they're just trying to like get these people, and then you have this nowhere girl, small town boy, small town girl, and they do sing the Journey song. So that's what this is. I think it's the songs that really save it. They do all these
kind of like Coyote Ugly. I'm just pulling names out of my.
Sure, but no. They do a lot of covers, and this was in the 80s, so it's taking place in the 80s. So I don't know. It's enjoyable. I enjoyed it way more than I thought I would. Yeah. I thought it was gonna be stupid and cheesy, but I enjoyed it. It is cheesy. It's sometimes stupid, but I enjoyed it.
You were able to swallow it, is really what you're saying.
I just didn't realize I was going to enjoy it. The music was great. The covers were fantastic, but I think really it was funnier than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be more serious. It reminds me a little bit of Take Me Home Tonight.
Yeah.
Like just it had this weird kind of, maybe it's because it's the 80s. It's like this 80s feel. But they had like good music from the 80s and stuff like that.
Can't really help but look back at the 80s and laugh, I feel like.
It didn't do all that well, I can tell you that. Like
just like the 80s.
Yep. Seems
didn't do well, didn't age well.
No, so. None of the music really does.
All right, that's my my first list.
All right. So it comes to me next. So the first one I'm going to talk about is 1980s The Blues Brothers.
Oh, shit.
Now, I'm a sucker for Blues Brothers 2000.
Actually, yes. And this is where I was on the fence because I actually prefer the sequel to this one.
Oh, yeah.
Me too.
But I just figured I'd cover them both in of themselves.
I'm okay with that.
Like this, they do great fucking blues songs. Like there's tons of fucking musicians in these movies with them.
Yeah.
Like Ray Charles, Aretha Franklin. I don't know. I almost said Bonnie Raitt. I don't know what the fuck I was talking about that. But like Ray Charles, Aretha Franklin. At the B.B. King is in the second one, along with
Eric Clapton.
Eric Clapton. Fucking at the end, it's Travis Tritt, B.B. King, Eric Clapton, and the fucking bald guy from David Letterman, whose name escapes me now.
Paul Schaefer.
But yeah, they all do a song together. Erykah Badu's in it in the second one.
Yeah, they get all like fucking voodoo magic witch doctor in Louisiana.
Cab Calloway's in the first one. There's a tons of fucking blues musicians and great musicians in general that are in there.
I will say, like, I like the first one, but I really like the second one, and I think it was a really excellent transition on how they did a sequel without
Belushi. John Belushi.
Yeah, like the way that they did it, it was just a continuation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and like because it's John Goodman getting out of jail.
Yeah,
Dan Aykroyd.
Is it Dan Aykroyd?
Dan Aykroyd gets out of jail. He's Elwood. Jake is John Belushi.
Yeah, John Belushi. So Dan Aykroyd gets out of jail. Sorry, he picks up John Goodman.
No, this is what happens. So
in the second one, John Goodman becomes a part
does not
of it.
pick him up. John Goodman works at the bar his friend owns. A dancer from the bar picks Aykroyd up after he learns that John Belushi's dead.
Well, I'm not saying from jail. I'm sorry. No, I'm saying Dan Aykroyd picks up John Goodman later on.
He lets him join him.
That's what I was saying. That's what I was saying. I didn't say John Goodman picked up Dan Aykroyd. I said
you said he picked up John Goodman. I was like, no.
Dan Aykroyd picked up John Goodman.
I know what you mean now. I'm still in the part where like he gets told that Jake is dead.
Yeah. No, that was the part. I didn't mean. At first, I did say John Goodman was Dan Aykroyd. That's not what I meant for sure.
But it's very much like, and the constant rush of like collecting their bandmates, and that's where the musical numbers tend to come in.
Yeah.
You get Aretha Franklin doing numbers in both movies.
Mm-hmm.
Like I say, at the end, B.B. King and Travis Tritt and all them do a bit. Cab Calloway does a cool one at the end of the first movie. They do a couple of their own, like they do the fucking Rawhide theme in the first one, like repeatedly. And then the second one, they do Riders in the Sky.
Yep. I know that the first film had the largest car crash.
It's like
cop car crash, especially, but car crash and like pile up. That's what it's.
Yeah, pile up.
In cinematic history.
And it's just a running gag in the movie. Like they constantly do both movies. They do fucking car crashes and shit like that.
We're on a mission from God.
Yeah, that's the classic line from that movie is we're on a mission from God. Moving on. Hold on. Sorry. It took me a moment to get to the next movie. The next movie I'm going to pick is The Devil's Carnival, which is all about the afterlife. Basically shows hell as a giant carnival, and 3 different people end up there, and they basically go through their own bits. They find out how they're going to spend eternity, like how they're all there for different reasons, and it uses all the songs are Aesop fables, which is the really interesting part. I got a number of people that are big in the metal world, like Ivan Moody from Moto Grader and Five Finger Death Punch does one of the songs.
He plays the
hobo clown.
Hobo clown, and so good. Like he's the one that I watched it for.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because his performance was just.
And his song is about the Aesop fable about the dog that sees its reflection in the water and like tries to get the bone that the reflection is holding and ends up losing it. Mm-hmm. And that's his whole thing. But
I will say that I think that guy he's another one that has like a really particular type of showmanship. And this is one of those, it worked. I mean, like being a rock star and stuff like that, it's not much different than a circus.
Yeah. And he's not even doing that much. He's basically emoting with his hat.
But it's
and
like,
it works.
It's just so appropriate. Like I don't know what it is. I would give him a fucking a reward for it. Like, or not reward, sorry, award for his performance. I thought it was a great performance. And then you have a clown from Slipknot who's the ringmaster.
Yeah. Yep. He doesn't sing at all, but he just stands there. He just whips that one lady. you have to watch it to really understand that, because taking it out of the context I just gave is problematic.
Sexy.
It's in the movie, it's not sexy at all.
But it is a very interesting and it's a dark film, but it's very interesting. And it's not like dark and grotesque. It's just dark.
The tone of it is dark.
Yep.
Because like I say, it's all about going to hell. Like Sean Patrick Flannery is probably the last person you see there, and he's there because he committed suicide because his son died. And he ends up looking for his son in the carnival. And this will all lead up to setting up the sequel, which does happen. But at the end, the devil basically plays a trick on him, makes it seem like he's reading Aesop's fables to the son, and that's not who it is. It's just another carny. But then they send Sean Patrick Flannery up to heaven. And so, like, he rolls into heaven, and, like, there's God just among a bunch of mannequins. And he's mad that somebody showed up.
Yeah.
And yeah, but it's also very well done, because I believe they do the frog and the scorpion, the dog and its reflection. I can't remember the third. There's at least a third fable.
It's been a long time since I've
they do the frog and the scorpion. They do the dog and the reflection.
When did it come out?
2000. Hold on. 2012.
Oh damn. Yeah, I remember watching it when it came out. And I think that's probably the only time I watched it.
I've watched it once or twice, and like I say, it's a really well done movie. And I'm not one for musicals, but that one I can actually sit through.
Though.
Yeah, it's a little different.
It's a little different.
There's not a ton of talking though either, so most of it's music.
Yeah.
Because again, not really my forte.
I don't know if you'd necessarily like it, Jason, but if you can find it,
give it a shot if you can.
Yeah, give it a shot. It's a little interesting, but I don't know if it's necessarily your cup of tea.
And then the last one I've got is 1971's Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Oh, duh. Fuck. I didn't even think about that.
Snatched.
Right? Yeah, this is a classic.
Classic. And probably as much as he did, probably the thing that Gene Wilder remembered forever for. Like I say, there's many other movies as he did. I think this is
definitely one of his most iconic roles across the board, where like everybody
recognizes him.
Like kids, well, even still to this day. Yeah.
Yeah, he did a ton of shit for Mel Brooks, but I think this really like is the iconic role for him. And it's just
so good.
It's so well done.
And Pure Imagination is one of my favorite songs.
Yeah. Oh God. Even to this day, I get kind of moved.
I have it on my list.
But yeah.
Yep. I have it on my playlist for a reason.
Just I can't really talk about that movie that much. I mean, there's really not much to like try and hype up. It's just a good movie in general.
And it's one of those that everybody knows. So
everybody knows, and everybody that doesn't should know.
It's got good morals too. It's all about like how you are, like not thinking that you're above something or below something, finding an understanding about how your value, but. Yeah, I mean, overall, the music too is, I don't know. It's got such a, because it's already a whimsical film.
Yeah,
it's a whimsical style film, and so like the music just this one just fits right in there, just smoothly.
It rolls so hard on like the morality, like using children as moral compasses, like. You see greed, you see like gluttony. The defiance, gluttony. You see sloth with the Mike TV.
Wrath. Oh, it's fucking the sins. This is goddamn
it boils down to the sins essentially.
Think about that.
At least to some degree, but I mean, like
you have the TV
Mike TV,
Mike TV's
sloth.
Violence and sloth, maybe.
He might be pride.
It's definitely
the gum chewer is pride.
Pride. You have
all of them. The bad kids exemplify greed.
Fat kid is gluttony, obviously.
Yeah, gluttony.
The chocolate lover.
There's vanity is the rich girl.
Yep.
Vanity,
snobby rich girl.
Like I say, they all kind of encompass greed because they're all willing to sell out Willy Wonka, except for Charlie.
Yeah, he's only there just to experience and have a good time.
Yeah, he's still like constantly like lifetime of chocolate. Fuck yeah, let's do this.
Woo-hoo.
Like I'm poor as fuck.
That's all a fucking poor person needs is fucking something to rot out their teeth even worse.
I eat cabbage water and bread seems awesome. Like let's give me a lifetime supply of chocolate. That won't put me in the dirt inside 6 months.
You could sell the chocolate and make some money. Who
Yeah, there's probably a clause in that contract he signed. But I mean, that whole movie, like even the ending is fucking like. You've heard the deleted scenes about how they came up with that ending. The writer of the movie went on vacation because this movie like basically fried him.
Oh yeah.
Yep. And they're like, oh, we need an ending. And like they called him at a campground on a payphone.
Yeah.
And he's like, and he came up with the Gene Wilder, like, remember what happened to the kid that got everything he wanted? He lived happily ever after. And like, that's the ending. And they're like, cool, click.
Yep.
And like, so yeah, he was like, I was at a campground. I was fucking fried. And they found me. Like, he's like, if I remember right, he didn't tell anybody where he was going.
Didn't go up the grid far enough.
Did he go to Burning Man? What the fuck?
This is 1971. I don't think Burning Man was a thing.
No.
Woodstock was still a thing. But yeah, he's the whole thing. I mean, especially since it's a movie written to sell candy bars.
Yeah, right.
It was a marketing ploy. It was this.
Is that why this film isn't like the book comparing to
Very much so.
Johnny Depp's version is more like the book you were saying, Tim?
Yeah, very much so. This movie was geared to sell chocolate bars the same way like the cartoons were like He-Man and stuff like that were meant to sell toys.
Yep.
Yeah. It's the same. Yeah, same thing.
It was a big marketing ploy.
And the thing is Willy Wonka's still around.
Wonka? Yeah.
Wonka.
Snowpiercer?
Oh yeah, that's right. Whoa.
Easy trigger.
Yeah, I don't know if you ever talked about that before. So I saw this thing on YouTube about a conspiracy theory that Snowpiercer is the futuristic side of Willy Wonka. And this dude is fucking convincing. He's analyzed both of the films and he's narrowed down the facts, and I have a hard time believing that is not true.
And it would just be more fun.
Oh,
the connection.
It was fucking cool. Yeah, I like all those. I feel like I haven't seen.
Oh, Rocket Man.
Rocket Man. Yeah, so I need to watch that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I didn't know that they came out with Devil's Carnival too. Like, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it didn't really get the same kind of reviews or publicity that because it's all about like the end of Devil's Carnival. They're talking about storming heaven and all that. Part 2 is basically the continuation of that, but they do like 3 or 4 more Aesop fables.
Was it alright?
It's fine. Once you saw the first one, the second was just like, well, you're just clawing at the same tree. Yeah, the novelty was not there the way it was in the first one. It's still filmed the same. Like it looks the same as far as filming wise and shit.
I'll go check it out.
That's a good question.
Alright, cool. Well, yeah. It's a musical. That wasn't too bad.
No?
We got through it.
Now you gotta come up with 3 more, Jason.
Okay.
Maybe try to be a little more original.
Yeah. Bitch.
Beauty and the
Beast.
I finally did watch that shit.
It's funny. Well, that has been Musical May. That has been Ant-Man. And we'll be talking about Civil War next week.
Yeah.
So stay tuned and see what happens because shit goes down.
Yeah.
So we'll catch you later.
Later.
Peace.
Hurt feelings make me laugh.